So maybe I can kind of weave it all together. I'm a firm believer that the script is the most important thing, that without a good script, you have nothing. So for me, I always was looking for the screenplay. And I always looked for two things in a screenplay. People you could root for. I mean, just think about it. Forrest Gump, Titanic, Braveheart. People that, now that doesn't mean they were likable, but you found them fascinating. You could root for them. Think of all the hit movies. And second, that filmmaking and going to the movies was not a passive experience. You had to be engaged emotionally. You know, The Exorcist scares you. You know, Forrest Gump makes you laugh and cry. You know, it engages your emotion. So once I found those elements, and I think in all of those screenplays you can see it, you know, then we would always make sure that the budget was right and package it, meaning put the elements together. So it's one thing to make a movie with Will Smith in the lead, and it's another thing to make a movie with Joe and I in the lead. Do you know what I mean? So different costs, you know, different subjects, different costs. And we would always then try and put the package together of the best actors and the best directors. And if we couldn't, then we would put it on the shelf until we could. So we would wait. Because if you don't cast it right, and I've made plenty of mistakes. I mean, these are like not the mistakes, you know, but it's like, then the audience doesn't come. And they don't, if they do come, they're disappointed. So in the case of those three movies, when I read the screenplay of Forrest Gump, it was a work in progress, but I thought it had one of the most extraordinary stories of unconditional love. Just the love that Gump had for his son, for Robin Wright. I just thought it was incredible. I was really not that interested in all the technological things that happened, and I just assumed that the director would be able to do it. But it was very risky, and we did it at a very low budget, and everybody deferred their fees, because you have to go back and realize this was a, you know, basically mentally disabled man sitting on a bench and telling his story. Now, it sounds great in retrospect, and you see it, but it was a very risky film and had been passed on by every studio. The other, Braveheart, was beyond risky. It was also passed on by all the studios. Mel Gibson in a kilt and directing himself. I mean, that's not, and a period piece. I actually also was attracted by the bravery in it. I'm not a huge fan of period movies. I mean, I, of course, loved a lot of them. But that's not really where my head was, so it wasn't like, oh, I can't wait to do a period movie. And I love the love story. I mean, it's just I reacted. Filmmakers react. It's like a Rorschach test for where you are in your life. You know, First Wives Club, you can see themes in all these female empowerment movies that I did. I mean, whether it starts with Fatal Attraction to The Accused, and you can go to, you know, First Wives Club. They all Rorschach tests for experiences that I had in my life. When she says I won't be ignored, no, I'm not talking about a guy. I'm talking about sitting in a room, you know, where, you know, I digressing, but where I was in a room with all men, and they said, what's your idea on how to fix the movie? And I told them my idea, and the guy who was the producer went, well, they went around the room. Some guy said exactly the same thing. He said, that's brilliant. I said, I just said that. Do you know, I mean, so it's that feeling of what it is about female empowerment. It's First Wives Club has roots in Fatal Attraction. I mean, they, you know, Lara Croft Tomb Raider. Do you know, I mean, they all have the kind of thing. And Titanic, I actually thought that the Rose character was the greatest female empowerment. This woman who went on and had a life, great love story. And then I saw the way he was going to do it technically, the way he was going to use water in a way it had never been done. So it was all those combinations. But it started 100% with the script. 100%. We didn't say, oh, we've got Tom Hanks, we're making the movie, let us read the script. We always started with the script and had tons of notes.